Jan Logie.
Mr. Speaker, it's a great pleasure to rise and make a short contribution for the Green Party, again in support of this bill, which currently is known as the Financial Assistance for Live Organ Donors Bill. And I too would like to add my congratulations to the member Chris Bishop for getting this drawn and seeing it through the process. It does seem to me that this bill, in its essence, has been a success on two levels. One, it's provided a bill with some substance from a government member with the potential to really help people in the society, and that's quite a rare thing on Members' Day in this House. And secondly, that the Select Committee process has worked and delivered back a bill consistent with the intent that was put forward by the member, but significantly changed to be able to deliver on that intent more effectively. And it's been wonderful to hear how the committee worked so collaboratively to actually realise and respond to the submissions from, I think, 110 New Zealanders offering guidance on how to improve this, and that we now have a much better bill as a result. And that is a credit to the member who brought it to the House and to the committee and to this parliamentary process. The Green Party is very pleased to support this because we do believe it will make a real difference. And on a personal level, like other members in this House, I'm really pleased to support this. And for me, there are two people I think of when I'm speaking to this bill. One is, of course, our hero, Georgina Bayer, and as already mentioned by Louisa, who was waiting for a transplant and for that match, and who is now no longer in a position to be able to receive a transplant. And she is a great New Zealander, and it is a shame that that is how it's played out. And also for me, an amazing woman, Kate Lynch, who was the sister of my ex-partner, who had a triple transplant, and as a result of those transplants lived many more years and was an amazing public servant. And I got to have her as an advisor on the paid parental leave bill that we were hearing submissions on, and I know the Honourable Ruth Dyson worked with her quite closely when she was the Minister. And you know, that is the difference, is when people, when they manage to get transplants, they have an opportunity to live and to contribute, and we are all better off for that. So I'm really grateful to the Minister or the member for bringing this bill and for it to progress. And I would like to acknowledge some of the changes that were made in the Select Committee process that have made a very significant improvement. One, that when it initially came, it was looking at modelling on ACC and an 80% compensation of wages, and only for people in paid work and not for beneficiaries. And that raised concerns for the Attorney-General that beneficiaries who were also in paid work wouldn't get compensation because it was making a distinction. This bill fixes that human rights issue, and it also moves to cost neutrality as opposed to an 80% compensation rate, and it's regardless of income level, because it's working on an acknowledgement that nobody should benefit or be worse off. So it's about removing the barriers to people being able to be in a position to donate organs. And I think that is commendable, and it's a very rare thing. It's my first experience of something going through a Select Committee process and coming out the other end with higher costs to the government. and I really, really want to acknowledge the work that must have gone on behind the scenes in the National Party to get that result, and it is a good result. It will pay off for New Zealanders, I hope. I also want to acknowledge the fact that it's moving from it being an MSD payment to a Ministry of Health payment. And I have heard that it's no reflection on MSD, but that people's stories were that they found it very difficult because this is such a rare situation to get caseworkers who understood it. The reality is we hear stories from MSD all the time of people being denied support when they need it. That is a much bigger problem, but it's good to see the shift here.
David Seymour.
Mr. Speaker.